How did you get here? You shouldn't be there, right? You say, among all the worlds where evil coexists with good, where gods compete for supremacy, where magic is the essence of life. You say you belong to none of them? You truly are an enigma. Well, I was a bit bored. I haven't seen something this interesting in centuries. Be prepared for what's to come, human. Hello everyone. Today I'm going to introduce you to some of my characters created on spot. Though since this is a video that kinda kills that impression, but enough talking and let's get to the first character. The first character is quite a common one. I mean, I've seen plenty of the edgy guys and they are kind of becoming a cliche. So the first thing I think about when creating such a character is whether then they should be good or evil. Honestly, I don't believe that every demon has to be the embodiment of evil. So I like to use an event that transforms them into this kind of person. Another technique I usually use is paying attention to the details. Since I'm terrible at drawing, I choose to use reference image like this. I carefully observe the character and make use of every detail or something, or sometime omit them because I'm not that perfect and I'm a lazy person. In this case, the bandages on the knees are a really good indicator, because one of his hands is completely black while the other is only halfway. And the final detail, he's smiling, which adds a nice touch to the story and the character development. I forgot the most important thing. Oh my god. A name is quite important as it adds a layer of uniqueness. In the case of this character, I use an antithesis. My definition will be two terms that are completely opposite. His original name is Aura, a warm and unique name given to him by a nun from the church. His other name, the one he gave himself after being corrupted. The name is Gold. Aura is one of the orphan children of the church. The group Aura was part of consisted of him, Ophelia, Mark, Venda, Kay, Lavea, Povan, and Elion. Aura was very diligent, intelligent, but very curious and didn't quite like the rules of the church. The first rule: all children of the Holy Church must pray in the morning, at noon, and in the evening until midnight. The second rule: each child of the church has a task to do, and that must complete it. The third rule: everyone must sleep at midnight after prayer. The fourth rule: attendance of everyone is mandatory at the Evangelis. Those who do not follow those rules are punished. That's all I heard from Priestess Pia. The food and the free time were granted based on how well and how devotedly we prayed. or I was the most punished child. He would end up praying for entire days because work wasn't his preferred option. Yet he did it for her. Everything was going as it should. Tomorrow is a holiday, so all the work is done by the clerics. I have more time. To spend with her. Wait, what? How did it come to this? How? I stopped praying and tried to rise, only for Elian and Mark to hold me back by my ceremonial robe. I shook it off and threw it over them. As I ran towards the altar, shouting, "Take your hands off her!" But they didn't listen. They were even more brutal with her, and I tried to push them away and stop them, but I was caught and held down. When everything seemed to be ending, meaning they were done violating her, a strange priest, who was the Bishop of Eve, approached my tear-stained, bruised face. Hello there. Are you one of them too? Then show us. Then all the priests became even more brutal. No one helped us. No one. No one cried. No one. They all prayed like fanatics. They forced me to see her being butchered, and now they won't even let me die next to her. How unfair. My right hand, with which I tried to push them away, was cut off, and with the other one they crushed it with the most disgusting smile. I was beaten, stabbed, but the most painful thing was that I prayed to this false goddess. Among the screams of excitement, among the macabre sound of my torn flesh, a voice can be heard. Child, become mine, and no one will ever ruin that beautiful smile of yours. Now, show them. Okay, the second character is made on horrible AI art piece that I don't like it much at all, but I decided to approach it anyway. I used fewer details because too many were just getting in the way, my way. So I focused more on the story. Alright, so he's an elf. Yeah, obviously, because he has long ears. And I decided that story should start from this from his childhood. I can talk. Because of his hair, all the elves knew that he could use magic. Olan, that's the name I went with, comes from a noble family on a distant continent, the kingdom of Fallon. When he turned 10, information about the royal family and the Olan's family reached the empire, dragging the kingdom into the war of curses. I don't think it's a good reference. I see that in the first line, but let's see the story. Where are you going, Dad? Why we are so far from home? Dad? Oh, sorry, sweetheart. Don't worry, everything is going to be fine. He kisses me and leaves. A few days have passed since Dad's last visit. I wonder if he's okay. I've already read all these books. I want so badly to know what's happening. I'm bored. Damn it, I'm leaving. What's happened? Why? Among the ruins, Broken limbs could be seen, guards petrified while trying to protect some children, and elves impaled on spikes. Did you start all of this? Olan begins to be consumed by his rage, and end up destroying many enemies, as well as the beautiful statues of his people. Impressive. Very impressive. How much power this small being can have. We don't have time for this, ma'am. I already knew that, but I want to see what else he can do. I didn't even have time to think. An entire army of undead appeared in front of me. While Olan is fighting, the strange woman and the man approach his father's body, trying to bring him back to life. Now our job is an arrow of light grazes the man's cheek. Take your hands off him. How impressive. A pure talent. She approached me and I couldn't say anything. I froze. Now, you are mine. I can't wait for us to meet, my little lord. After that, I fell asleep. When I woke up, my vision was blurry and my head hurt. Where was I? That was the first thing I thought. All my recent memories were vague, and the view was breathtaking. I was in the Empire. After all these years, I managed to destroy all your containers. At least I can rest. Or so I thought. Seriously? You need an entire army just to catch me? Keep your mouth shut, rat. You are speaking to the Emperor. Take it easy. If he wanted to, he could kill all of us. I need to act fast. How about a duel? If I win, you join me. If you defeat me, you can take my place. What do you say? I surrender. You have your majesty. That's how I end up being the Princess Nanny. A princess who got bored of her duties and ran away with her bodyguard to solve the Empire's problem. It was so much fun, Oli. But you should be more careful with the money, or we'll run out. Yes, I understand, princess. Princess? Alice? I wonder how much time has passed. At least we meet again, my little lord. Okay, well, we are at the last reference picture. This picture has a lot of details, but this time they actually fit. Seriously, just look at the accessories and they all are going the same direction. Not some of them are making me think he's good, some he's bad, or other things. I think it's an AI art, exactly like the last one, but okay. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to create a full narrative for this one. Yeah, my bad. So, don't boo. No. But, I can show you how I create a character and maybe a short sneak peek of the story. So, the first thing and the one that takes up most of my time is the name. I didn't look for something with a special meaning this time, just create an original one. So I think the original often. After that, I write down all the traits because I don't want to look at the pictures every time I need to write something about him or about something that is related to him. The third thing I do is establishing a personality because it's a very important for your characters to be distinguishable from one another. Well, I hope. In this case, Often is a person who is uninterested in everything, often with his head in the clouds. However, he's very perceptive, and I add a little twist to his persona. He's manipulative and possessive. The last thing I do is to give him a status, because if I come back later, almost a year, I will know where I want to place him in the story. His status is that of a detective assistant. Well, that it is his appearance, because he's very innocent, but he has a dark side, and I focus more on this in the story. Well, it's not finished yet, and I don't have a narrative for this, so I will show you a little sneak peek. There was a pandemic that infected most teenagers and a few adults. The symptoms were clear. People would wake up with the traits and abilities of animals, and they were called eggs. That virus was more like a curse. Luckily, the curse has certain rules, and if you follow them, you can suppress your appearance. Unfortunately, after a case in which an egg went mad and transformed into a rotten egg, a more aggressive form of the curse, Often and the detective boy, no name, are forced to search for the source. Impressive, isn't it? You don't have to be afraid. You are not part of their universe. You are just my honorary